right, what's up, guys? Over here at Tabletop Tavern, my name is Anthony, and we have the sixth place finisher from the Long Beach Treasure Cup, Joshua Crandall, or Josh Towers.
My name is Joshua Towers. My stepfather's last name was Crandall, so everybody pretty much knows me by Crandall. Last name is actually Towers.
But the One Piece community to know you as Towers. Yep. I just wanted to get you in here to do a couple questions. Interview you on how, the whole venue was, the events and everything, and then get that spicy deck that
everybody's looking for. Sure.
So, first question I got for you is, how much time and effort did you put into practicing for the Treasure Cup, and how did you go about it?
Entirely more than my wife wanted me to. I'll say that ahead of time. We probably clocked in anywhere from 50 to 100 hours a week testing. Between online, and that's the whole team. That's not just me. Sometimes they're streaming games. I'm watching, all different variants. But
Gotcha.
we clocked in a lot of time.
And it shows.
Practicing. We hit, I don't know, between everybody, we probably play 7 days a week. So that's we got a pretty good test group that got really in depth on this deck once it showed its legs at the Manga Shanks tournament up at Top Choice Gaming. And so after that, the whole team was pretty much behind it. We started testing it a lot, all the matchups, and everybody's work paid off.
Consistent, more consistent one, so you guys decided to all take it.
Yep.
You guys come from, is it the same group that you play Dragon Ball with as well?
No, I haven't played Dragon Ball since Set 5.
Oh, sheesh.
Bandai ruined the game with Omega Shenron and Gogeta and Hirudegarn Storm, and they lost me right then and there.
Just want to knock on wood then that they don't do that with One Piece.
Yeah, Bandai has a tendency to kind of tilt the balance to the negative
a little bit.
So hopefully they're getting better. They are slowly. These Bandai games are lasting much longer. So we've got hopefully a bright future ahead for One Piece.
Fingers crossed.
Right.
All right. So, second question I got for you: when we went to the convention center, what was your impression of the venue, the people that were there whenever we showed up?
Well, it was everybody's real polite, welcoming. There was no, everybody was really in good spirits, laughing, chuckling, having a great time. It was not like the Magic Grand Prix that I've gone to, and you've got everybody's clicked up. I've got my team, and we don't talk to anybody else. Like, this is, so tight and interweaved. Where this was, you had players that it might have been their first day playing.
Yeah.
They just got lucky to get into the Treasure Cup on time, and somebody handed them it. The guy that won was on a borrowed deck.
Exactly.
I mean, the community is really awesome. The venue is great. Plenty of space.
Tons of space.
The only thing that I do have to say that I disliked about the venue is that they forced you off the play floor as soon as you were done with your match. I did not like that. But other than that, everything else was run fantastic. Poor TCG did a great job.
Amazing job. Good job.
The judges, phenomenal job, man. I don't really remember anybody ever having to wait on a judge call. Ran very smoothly. I know there's some talk about some decks that made top that had 51 cards or were running 5 or something like that. Man, those judges deck checked everybody when we left, and anytime we left the room, the judges followed us around. We had a judge assigned to us to walk around, so I can't believe the allegations there, but
there's always going to be
it's card games, people cheat, so. But I don't believe that's the case after deck checking top 16.
Exactly.
So I'm not going to let any more of those allegations teeter my opinion.
Exactly. Yeah, and before we go on to the next question, I wanted to add on to it, the atmosphere, like you said, is very chill. Everyone's in good spirits and everything. Like, when I first walked in there, everybody was playing. Like, they were showing their sauce to, everyone that's, walking in, just playing their decks out in the open. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
people are just, they're not showing
No. We were keeping the sauce
competitive, yeah.
I've learned that in times. This is actually the first card game that I have successfully designed, piloted, and won a decent, I didn't win the whole
Decent play
event,
thing, yeah.
but I mean,
You still won in my eyes.
fifth place overall, 492 players. You're talking the top 1.5%. It's not a bad day. You know what I mean? Not
bad at all, man. Not bad at all. Yeah. All right, dude. So, the question I got for you, your team. I mean, obviously, you'd explained how you were like you're practicing with them and everything. They're a big part of your success. You got a team name. If you want to give them a shout out, now that we got you on camera and everything.
So I actually have 2 different groups. I've got Team Futon, which is here in San Diego. That's Stephen Pell, Andy Rizzo, George Aguilar, Jorge Aguilar, and Luke Deernick. I think I pronounced that right.
They're all good guys.
They're all very good test partners, quality players, put in a lot of time with me. And then I have a team that's put together called the Cali Tex Crew. And that's me, Steven, and my brother who lives in Texas.
Gotcha.
And that's our traveling competition team,
There you go.
so to speak.
Cali Tex, Cali Mex.
Two of us are in California, and one of us is in Texas, and I bounce back and forth being California implant.
There you go.
So, the
Cali Tex,
Crew.
Team Futon. And I believe another tangent, Steven, he also ran the deck that you put together for the event.
Yeah, so I want to shout out Steven for real, man. That he jumped on the deck. I met him to play test one day, and after 5 terrible spankings, he decided, kind of like I did. Neither one of us really wanted to play Zoro.
Yeah.
It was, so talked about as meta and this and that. We didn't really want to play it. But after I took that up there and played it, he was 100% on it. We both piloted the exact same 50 cards in the manga shanks. Both of us top 8'd that event.
Yep.
We started tinkering with it with Andy and Jorge, who were also at that event, and Andy bubbled 9th with Kid. So, our team is steady putting up numbers.
Yeah.
Steven ended up 21st at the Treasure Cup.
Yeah.
And had I not beat my final opponent and Steven would have bubbled in, and I would have been out.
He was also representing us, the Tabletop Tavern.
That 21st place finish might as well have been a top cut. It was tiebreakers, and he was 5 people behind on tiebreakers. So shout out to that man for believing in the deck, helping me really fine-tune our version of it.
Yes, we
Andy and Jorge both kind of played their own version of it. I believe Andy top 64 with it at the Treasure Cup. So there is room for your own personal tweaks and style, and the deck still does the same thing. I think Steven played 2 card swap different from me at the Treasure Cup,
Exactly.
21st place. I played mine. I made it to 5th overall. Andy played his top 64. That's 3 choppers going home with the team.
a lot of money.
That's not a bad day for the squad. And
You can call that successful.
I do believe that George bubbled just out of 128 at X4. So it was a good day for everybody. And Luke was on law. Luke was the only one that didn't play Zoro, but he was never really attached to the Zoro like the rest of us to begin with, and he piloted Law 2, I believe, in X.
Still better than I did. So
Yeah, so the whole team had a decent day. Not everybody's as happy as the others, but everybody did good. They're solid guys. They sat there and ate the time up while I kept playing, knowing, sitting at the pub.
that's a good
Getting on the stream haters for me,
Yep.
so
Definitely. Yeah. All right. So that's a good one. Do you remember a round where you're playing throughout the Swiss rounds where you seriously outplayed somebody and you felt really good about that play?
So truthfully, no. There was never a time that I really felt like I just had an outstanding play. The deck just does what it does. There's some finesse to it. You can't just pick up this 50 cards and walk in an 8-1 or 7-2 this deck. It does take some finesse. You do have to understand your matchups. But once you get to that point piloting this deck, it's autopilot.
Yeah.
My entire top 16 match that I was playing Kaido on stream, I literally was not even paying attention to those games. I was talking to the guy in the crowd that was watching us play the entire time, bantering back and forth. I was friends with a teammate of the guy I was playing, and his teammate was there, so we were bantering back and forth. And the deck puts you on autopilot.
Yeah,
it's going to do what it does.
It's a good deck then to take to competition.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you don't want to think very hard, if you're worried about, if you're a smoker, best deck in the world to take because you have time in between these 35-minute rounds to have a cigarette, which there's not very many other decks that can claim that one. So
especially that kid. Sheesh.
Yeah. And you know what? He didn't do so hot here.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, I didn't even get to face a single one during my time over there, but it sucks because I was built towards it.
I did not play a single kid all day. With it being the most prominent deck, Luffy showed up in just the right numbers to put it on the X2 tables, and I dodged it all day. It was right next to me almost all day long, but never in front of me. I didn't play not one. I played 3 Laws, 3 Zoros, 1 Mirror that I did lose. That was my one loss in Swiss, which I think if we ran that back 100 times, I would win 98 of them. I just drew all events and no bodies. That's cards. Sometimes you don't draw so hot. After those, and that was my first 6 rounds. Was 3 Law, 3 Zoro. And then I hit a Kaido in round 7, and he never stood a chance. The Luffy player, Kyle Wapple, really cool guy. He was from Georgia, I believe. He piloted his deck really well. And the last guy I played, his name was Steven, or Steve, piloting Doffy. And he did not turn 1 Perona, and that was his death sentence.
Yeah, exactly.
That is also the guy that my teammate Steven needed to win for him to make it into top 16.
So you basically knocked your teammate out.
I dream crushed my own teammate.
Well, he did that at top choice too, when they got 9. So
yeah. So sorry, buddy. Love you.
He's not giving you the Luffy though. So
yeah.
All right, 6. So now into the big one. So top 16. How intense was the top 16 for you? I mean, of course you were like hyped about getting into it and everything, but did you have like a game plan or setup before it? Something to hype yourself up?
No, I've been playing cards for 25 years now, maybe more. Let's see. Yeah, about 25 years. I started playing Magic in '96, and Mirage, I believe, was the set that was current. I've been on the PTQ grind back when they had Pro Tour qualifiers, Star City games. I've been to Grand Prix, qualified for 2 Pro Tours in Magic in 2009, Kyoto and Venice.
Oh dang.
I've got, like I said, I've got top 32 at a regionals in Dragon Ball, so I'm not unfamiliar with clutch time. That's actually one I generally play better.
Yeah.
I do horrible at locals. Dude, I'll come in here with the same deck and go 1-4 5 times in a row.
The adrenaline that gets you like on point and everything.
Like I know when I walk into a room with 500 people, I just put my helmet on that everybody in here is a very high skilled, high caliber player, and I'm not allowed any rooms for mistakes.
Yeah.
And so it pushes me to a point. But cards is my sport. I was lazy. I didn't run. I didn't play basketball. I didn't play baseball. I played Magic. I played Pokemon. That was the evolution of my sports. And now, I mean, it is a sport.
It is definitely a sport.
So many of them are going esports and getting televised on ESPN and craziness. So yeah,
I'm for that. Yeah.
I'm just the generation too late.
I'm definitely. Once they started doing the fantasy One Piece team, definitely adding you to the roster. So
yeah, absolutely.
Keep doing good on that. All right, so one more question, then we'll go ahead and get you over to the deck tech and everything because I'm waiting to see that too.
Right
I didn't watch the other, interviews and stuff because I wanted to save it for us. So, what is the next upcoming tournament that you're going to be heading out to? And do you have any extra preparation for it? Is it going to be the same thing as you did, in preparation to this Treasure Cup?
Righto, so I will be at the Dallas Treasure Cup. As far as preparation goes, no, I pretty much quit playing. till Dallas.
Oh dang.
And my reasoning is that starter deck 5 is now allowed at locals. You would think that doesn't change up too many things, but it does mentally for me because I'm going to be here playing around these film cards or things like that. And mentally, I may walk into a treasure cup worried about playing around a Douglas bullet that doesn't exist. And so I don't want to switch my meta until after Treasure Cup Series is over.
Makes sense.
So that's really it. So yeah, pretty much just sim testing with the guys. No in-play testing. And really, man, like I said, you go on autopilot once you learn the deck.
Yeah.
So I might kick a few games here and there, but I'm good. I'm resting.
Yeah, I think that's kind of why you're saying that you and Steven didn't want to play the Zoro deck because you didn't want something so autopilot. But if it gets the job done, gives you those W's all the way up to the 5th, why not?
Yeah, absolutely. And God forbid I end up that Zoro guy across the country.
That one Zoro.
That one Zoro guy that goes everywhere playing Zoro.
America.
And I'll just give everybody a heads up at Dallas. I will be piloting Zoro, so you'll know what I'm on ahead of time. My deck's gonna do what it does. Doesn't matter if you know what it does or not. So we'll see y'all there, and best of luck in your draws.
Yeah, so thanks again for coming through, man. So let's go ahead and get through the deck tech, and best of luck to you in Dallas, man, because it was a pleasure, watching you work over at Treasure Cup and talking to you outside and seeing your composure. It was just nice to be around. So,
right, man. Thank you. It was great coming up here, visiting. Try to get down here and play some more, man. The San Diego traffic's a big.
Yes. All right, cool.
So, alrighty.